don't leave them alone. People want me to touch on another viral
Here
post
she
where
go.
they went to Russia.
Hmm.
And it was like, do you believe the bill should be 50-50? Do you believe the woman should work this, that, and the other? Every single man was like, if she does not want to work, no, I pay all the bills. I pay the first dates. I pay for everything.
All right.
Because that's how it should be. And this girl's like, well, you need to touch on that post. Why don't American men do that? Have you seen the women in Russia? Do you understand how Russian women treat their husbands? Why do you think there's a thing called passport bros? These women cook, they clean, they're not morbidly obese, they
Dang.
wear makeup, they look gorgeous without even trying, and they spoil their men. I've been saying it for a year. When you treat men like they are kings, they will treat you like you're queens, but it's not getting through your head because you want to be the princess on a pedestal and do nothing and get everything in turn.
Pretty well said. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Listen, listen. Yeah, you're right. Men don't get any respect. I think that's the biggest thing. Obviously, men want a woman that they find attractive, a woman that is feminine. They obviously definitely want that. But I think most of all, in a lot of situations, they want respect. Like these modern women walk around America in the streets left and right disrespecting men, and then they wonder, well, why can't I get a man to love me? Or if you walk up to somebody disrespecting them straight out, like straight off the top, how are they going to? Why would they want to have anything to do with you? Like we talk about presentation or first impressions, you know, are they like the biggest thing? But then like your first impression is one of disrespect. Well, how did I disrespect him? I'm strong, independent. I don't need no man. I don't need you to pay my bills. You're gonna take care of these kids though. You're gonna pay the babysitter. I don't go out with a man unless he pays for X, Y, and Z. And we haven't even met yet. That's the type of foolishness that these modern women are throwing out and expecting a man to take care of them.
Yet you wonder why men's health is fitting unaliving at such a high rate. Do better. And just another point for proof, Russian women literally hate American women. Did you know that there was another viral video where they interviewed the Russian women talking about us? Yeah. And how you're overweight and you don't take care of yourself and you don't take care of your men and you're gluttonous and you're rich.
Gluttonous.
Why aren't our men providing like Russian men? Because you guys are
Dang.
you are absolute trash. If you're married to any type of man, whether it be white collar, blue collar, don't care. He goes to work 24/7, you stay home, he pays the bills. It's because you're doing your job.
Some of these women out here are feeding their men. Some of these women out here are feeding their men chicken nuggets. I mean, they're stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home wives. When the man gets home from work, he has to look forward to chicken nuggets. That is a crazy concept.
It's called give and take.
All right.
You have to hold up your, which a lot of you ain't doing.
You know.
Never forget the time I went on a date with this guy, and it was one of the most boring dates of my life. He
Interesting.
didn't talk about a single thing, okay? It was so boring. And then at the end of the date, I already decided, like, I'm never going to see this guy ever again in my life. I legit went to the washroom and I blocked him. I was in the washroom and I was blocking him, okay? I knew I was never going to see this guy again. And he had...
So you weren't even finished with the date. And we just talked about disrespect. This is exactly what I mean. You didn't even finish the date before you blocked him. You didn't even wait until, oh, I'm going to get home. Hey, did you get home okay? Did you get home safely? I wouldn't know because you're already blocked. I wouldn't know that because you already took me off the list and you're still on the date. I hate this date so much that I'm going in the restroom and I'm going to block him right now. and then I'm going to go out, have him pay for it, and then I'm going to go home. This is what men have to deal with.
The audacity to lean in. And I leaned back and I looked at him and he's like, oh, I thought we had a really nice date. I'm like, no, we didn't. Like, this was horrible. And I just started laughing uncontrollably. And then, yeah, it was really awkward, but yeah.
Exactly. Once again, and to make matters worse, he didn't know. And I understand that sometimes I've seen women that think they're having a good time on a date, but the man is not. And the man unmatches after the date when he gets home. Not only do you block him right then and there before the date is over, you're going to expect him to pay, and then you're going to laugh in his face, and you're going to laugh, like you said, uncontrollably. Your words, not mine, uncontrollably in his face. And this is what men have to step out the house for. This is what men are going to be generous for. This is what men are going to be chivalrous for. This is what men are going to treat like princesses. This is what men are going to put on a pedestal. This is what men are going to have as a passenger princess, as a queen, as somebody that is spoiled, that they give the soft life to, that they're going to invest in. My money is my money and your money is my money. This is the person. This is it. This is the stock that men are going to put their money in. In 30 years, it's going to give me back a great return. What? How are we expecting this?
The reason that men mistake your kindness and politeness as flirting is because they themselves would never be kind or polite to someone they weren't attracted to.
No, many men will mistake your kindness for flirting because many men rarely ever receive any kind of kindness unless either somebody wants something from them or they're flirting. Also, there are lots of men who are kind to people that they're not interested in. So I don't know where you get that from.
You know,
Nowhere. They get it from nowhere. This is just something that they see on TV or something that they're thinking about while reading a book. Modern women's minds go everywhere that they're not supposed to. So I'm not surprised that this is what she came up with. But I do thank you for responding to it, because stupidity like this needs to be stamped out.
Me? You want to know what a real man is?
No.
The definition of manhood to me, it's the one metric where I'm like, I know or I don't know. A man does what he says he's going to do. No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't want to hear it.
Amen.
I don't want to hear it. If you are a man, you do what you say you're going to do. نقطة. لف الصفحة please.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Yeah, I would agree on the surface. Yeah, a man should do what he says he's going to do. I think the problem comes in, and we already know this, when men are doing what they said they were going to do. I'm going to take you out on a date. I'm going to be good to you. I'm going to be chivalrous. I'm going to open the doors, do the whole sidewalk thing. I'll even post you on social media. I do everything that you want. But then we get back to, I just felt like I needed to leave the good guy. It's okay to leave the good guy because I'm not happy. He was a great guy. He was a good man, but something about him just gave me the ick. He ain't paid for it. You just saw that the woman was laughing uncontrollably in the man's face. And he was like, I thought we were having a nice time here. Right? I thought everything was going great. But you're looking at him like, instead of just saying, hey, listen, I appreciate that you like me, but I don't think that we're on the same page. So I'm just going to pay for my portion of the meal and go on and move on with grace. You embarrass him in front of everybody, right? So the man does what he's supposed to do. He's sitting out there waiting on you, trying to be a gentleman, trying to have conversation. And you go in the restroom, block him, and then come out and laugh in his face. When are women going to do what they're supposed to do? That's the thing. When are women going to get out here and be like, you know what? I need to start acting like a woman. I need to start being more feminine. Yeah, I expect the man to pay on a date. I expect the man to come pick me up, or all of these other things. You have a long laundry list of things that you want a man to do, but you never, ever hold up your end of the bargain, which drives us back to the question, what is it, class? What in the world could you as a woman be bringing to the table?
Okay, so yesterday I posted a video talking about how I've just returned from the US. I was there for about a month, and I stated that in the last month I have been hit on in the US more than I have in the last 10 years in Australia. Now, initially when I read this comment, I actually thought he was joking. And then I realised it was a legitimate question. And in fairness to this gentleman, he's been quite polite in his comments. So props to you there. In answer to this question, yes, women want men to lead. Women have always wanted men to lead. I can't think of a time when women haven't ever wanted men to lead. Right. And I'm not really sure why there is such a difference between the dating culture in the US versus the dating culture in Australia, but there is a significant difference. To clarify further with this as well, and the other difference I noticed in the States was that when men do hit on you, it's actually always in a respectful way. It's not them sliding into your DMs or responding to a story with a double tap of the heart or a fire emoji. It's actually quite direct and quite assertive, and it was actually quite attractive, to be fair. For example, I'd be walking down the street and a man would just come up to me and say, "Oh, I really like that dress on you. It looks really flattering." And I'd say, "Oh, thank you." And then, of course, with my accent too, that would be a lead-in for him to say, "Oh, your accent, like, where are you from?" Yep. And from there, he'd go on to say, "Oh, how long are you here for? I'd really like to take you out for coffee." It was a completely respectful conversation on all accounts. There was no sleaziness, no dicks, nothing sleazy. But men essentially saw what they wanted, and they went for it. You know, if you see someone walking down the street, you may not ever see them again. So they'd essentially shoot their shot, but they would do it in an assertive, masculine and leader-like, is that even a word?
Yep,
a leader-like way.
Yep.
So in answer to this gentleman's question, yes. yes. Australian women would love for men to lead in this manner. In terms of asking women out on a date, ask them out, plan the date, organise something, just give her the plans and say, either I will meet you here, or, you know, does this suit you? Don't do the whole back and forth of like, oh, what about here? Any suggestions? Make a plan. We don't really care where we go.
That's not true.
As long as it's somewhere nice. And to be fair, we love it more when you just plan it. And your ability to handle the situation and take care of things is far more attractive to us. Anyway, for the gents out there, the Aussie gents out there, if you do have any other questions about this, no judgment at all. I'm happy to answer honestly. But yeah, just to elaborate, yes, we would love men to take the lead more, 100%.
Men be doing that in the United States. They probably do it in Australia, to be honest with you, but they probably run into radical feminists in Australia as well. I think it's funny to highlight how radical feminism has touched pretty much a majority of developed countries, I should say, when other countries are interested in the election of another country. Like, I could see you just being educated on what's going on around the world, but to sit up and be like, oh man, this is so terrible, anything having to do, I'm going to boycott America, this is trash, this is crazy. Do you even know what's going on in America? Do you even know why this happened? No, I don't. But I sympathize with what I've been hearing on TikTok. And if what I've been hearing on TikTok is true, then I totally hate what's going on in America. So you don't actually have a good understanding and you're not actually educated on what's happening in another location. No. Okay, then maybe you should sit down and shut up. And this is what happens with modern women. They sit up and watch videos and they say things. I heard her say this. I heard her say that. And they mix it together and like, you know what? This is what I'm going to follow. This is what I'm going to do. This is going to be my lifestyle. And I'm going to tell, and in this particular case, I'm going to tell every single man, don't touch me. Don't talk to me. Don't approach me and then turn back around, get online and be like, ain't no man approaching me. Why not? You just told him not to approach you in the gym. You just told him not to approach you at church. Just told him not to approach you at work, not at the gas station, not at the grocery store. She just said, what most men think. Where am I going to approach you? I might not ever see you. Exactly. And a man comes up, that dress looks flattering on you. Don't ever say anything about this. If a man would have said that to one of these modern women, he would have gotten in trouble. Yeah, he would have gotten in trouble. It would have been a problem. But because she comes from a different country and she's experiencing, I guess, something different, then American men are gold. But probably Australian men have been trying to say something like this to her, and she's not accepting it. Oh man, I don't like that. I don't like how you say it. I don't like the way you put it. But American men, they can do no wrong. Actually, there's a lot of men around the world. Oh, I love Italian men. They just this. They're so romantic. Da 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 da. They expect a certain thing in a certain way. So if you willing to do that and you get about that movie mindset, then watch y'all get married. Oh wait, you didn't? Don't worry about it. They don't get married. They have all these romantic stories, movie-like tales, and they don't get married. Meanwhile, American men, Italian men, all these other men across the world are trying to get married. They're trying to approach, but modern women do not want it. So you need to give him a little bit more of an answer when he says, do you guys actually want us to approach? Yeah, we do. We want you to plan it. We want you to do X, Y, and Z. We want to sit up on our high horse and we want you to take the lead. We don't want to think about anything. Newsflash. Most modern women don't want to think about anything. They want a man to do everything. They literally want to ride a man's back. Pick me up. I want to do a piggyback ride. Carry me around the city. And I want to do nothing in return. I just want to be carried. That's it. That's probably why you're being ignored in your home country. You come over here to America and men haven't seen you. And then after a while, you're not getting any attention. So you say, oh, shoot, this is fantastic. I haven't been getting any attention back home. Do you think it might be because you have been swearing off that attention and American men don't know you? And so now you're in a attention deficit. So when you come over here, they're like, oh, man, you're pretty. Love the dress. Let me take you out. And you have all these vacations, but I tell you, when you get back home, you're not going to be married. That's it.
Versus Russia, asking men if they would provide for their woman.
Well, it just depends. Number one, why would I? But what is she doing while I'm working? It's kind of like each relationship now is a 50-50.
То, наверное, да. Потому что все-таки я беру ответственность за человека.
Nah, she has to provide for herself. She's an adult.
Конечно, если жена, это семья, это дети, конечно, в идеале, чтобы она уделяла 100% времени воспитанию.
Well, I mean, I would want it to be 50-50. That's the current situation I have.
Если ей не хочется работать, если ей не хочется самореализовываться, ей приятно находиться на моем содержании, почему нет, я могу себе это позволить.
I would. I would probably inspire her to work, just so I can see that there is some motive going in her future.
Жизнь, моя жизненная ситуация устраивает, и я живу с девушкой, я ее содержу.
Она должна другие функции выполнять, а мужчина на своем месте всегда.
Here's the thing. She has to carry out other things. There it was. So we're saying USA versus Russia, asking men if they will 100% financially support their women. A lot of men would. A lot of men would. I think the problem that they run into with these modern women is that what they can support, what is actually possible, is different from what modern women are requiring. What could that be? Gucci bags, literally Gucci bags, Louis Vuitton, Burberry, Coach, Kate Spade, like expensive stuff. So no, of course not. Not on an average salary. I cannot support that. You're going to have to work at that point in time. But if you know how to manage a house and say, oh, we can look for opportunities here, we can look for opportunities there. The more and more you build and the more and more you grow, because that's the reality of a lot of these women, stay-at-home moms in America. They help their husband and he sees the value. And so he's like, man, let me go out there and bust my behind and work more because I see the value in her staying home, taking care of the house, taking care of the kids. That's a fantastic arrangement. That's a fantastic arrangement. Let's do it. But these modern women don't provide any value to anyone. They just want to stay home. And so for a lot of American men, nah, you need to get up and go to work because you ain't going to be doing nothing at the house.
I hate this some days. I just like I'm never enough, and like I feel like I'm gonna disappoint one of my kids. And every time they go to sleep, it's like I didn't spend enough time with one of them, and my daughter who's my
All right, so here's the thing. We've got this woman literally crying her eyes out, talking about how her life is in shambles. Why? Because she divorced her husband. And now? Oh, her ex-husband is living his best life.
As they usually do. These modern women, once again, they try to get out here and I'm happy, I'm loving life, I'm living life, and then find out, wait a minute, I gotta do 100%. Well, I want to be 100%. I'd rather do that by myself and struggle than do it for somebody else and have to do it and all that other nonsense. Well, okay, back it up then. Back it up. And now we see when it's time for you to back it up, you sitting in the closet crying, hiding from your kids, trying to get a break, realizing that it's actually harder than you thought it was, and your mouth got you in trouble.
Oh, one thing that I don't like about a lot of women, and even I had to check myself with this, is stop sitting over here talking about how it ain't no good man out here. It ain't no good man. All men cheat. When you're not looking for a good man, you're looking for a rich man. Exactly. A lot of y'all, you're looking for a rich trick. Y'all asking 304s how to get a trick. Y'all praising being a side chick. Y'all said that it's cool to cry in a Rolls Royce. That's what y'all said.
That's what they
y'all
said.
Cool with a dude doing anything to you and treating you any kind of way as long as he got some money. Like, that's basically what y'all saying. So stop crying about how, oh, well, he been with this many girls and he did this and he did that, when y'all be cool with it as long as he buying you some gifts and you can get on the internet and show off to other women. That's all y'all care about. Y'all say all the time y'all don't care about what men think. Y'all don't care about what men want. All y'all care about is the money. Y'all looking for a meal ticket. So stop crying about how you get treated and accept what comes with that meal ticket. Ain't nothing in life free. It's gonna be pros and cons to anything. Y'all not looking for no good men. Y'all looking for some rich tricks. And the thing about a rich trick is when they done with you, they'll be on to somebody else that's more younger and interesting than you.
And they hate that. And this is what men been trying to tell them. Listen, we already see you coming from a mile away. We already know that you don't want to contribute to the relationship, and we don't want that. We're looking for somebody that's going to help. Well, I'm not going. I want a man to pay. Did nobody say that a man wasn't going to pay? I'm willing to pay if you willing to bring something to the table. Period. Men invest. That's what they do. That's what, whether they win or lose, men are investing because that's what they got to do. I got to go out and I got to put the time in. I got to go out and I got to work. Society has done a fantastic job of saying if a man doesn't work, he don't eat. If a man goes out there and sits out there and he's a bum, you don't deserve anything. You don't deserve any sympathy. You got to go out there and prove your value. Well, I don't know what to do. You better figure it out. You better figure out where to sow something, where to reap something. You better figure it out, period. So when a man brings that to the table and says, okay, this is what I can do for you. This is where I can help you out. All right. I've given you my spiel over the phone, over FaceTime. Now in person, I'm giving it to you. All right. Now give me your spiel. What are you looking for? What can you do? What can you do for the relationship? Oh, I'm just looking for a rich man. Okay. Yeah. I got that. I'm that. Okay. You know, I got a little bit of money. I might not be rich, but all the stuff that you just named, I can take care of. No. What are you going to be doing? Well, I really didn't think, literally in verbatim. This is what a woman said on a podcast. I didn't really think about doing anything. I really didn't know what I was going to do. I just expected him to take care of me. Huh. And when that man drops you, oh, men ain't loyal. They don't stay with you because you ain't been doing nothing. You ain't been doing nothing for 50 years. You ain't been doing anything this whole time. And you expect a man to be on your team. You don't even like that guy. You just wanted him for his money. And you wonder why that man treats you like trash. As far as I'm concerned, you get everything that you deserve by acting like that. Full stop. And if it sounds harsh, I'm sorry. But just like a man has to work, you have to put in work as well. It might not be in corporate America based on whatever him talked about. But at some point in time in the relationship, you got to put in work. You got to put in work. Y'all not looking for good guys. Y'all looking for men to pull the wool over their eyes. And when they turn around and pull the wool over your eyes, now you're upset. Now all men are trash. And I ain't giving nothing out. 4B movement all the way. Girl, shut up. Ain't nobody worried about that. But that's just my opinion. To the next video, I'm out.